This video that you are watching right now must be taken with seriousness when you are buying a second-hand car. Please, when you are buying a second-hand car, please do your due diligence when buying a car. If you are buying a car without due diligence, then it is your own fault for not doing that to inspect your car. So enjoy the rest of the video ahead. Sure. Hello guys, welcome to a new video here on YouTube. If you are new to my YouTube channel, then please consider to subscribe to my YouTube channel and smash that bell icon so that you don't miss a new video coming to the channel. And welcome back to those viewers who are already subscribed to my YouTube channel. In this video today, I will give you a full guide on how to buy a second-hand car. But the car that I'll be using is my very own car, the Renault Kwid, which it will be the guinea pig to do a video on how to buy a second-hand car, like say from Webuycars, because a lot of people have been ripped off by some places or even people where they advertise the car, and when they get to the car, then the car isn't that car that has been advertised on the post, like say Facebook Marketplace, which I know a lot of people does get scammed on that Facebook marketplace, because people are not very honest enough about their cars. So yeah, I will give you a rundown on how to buy a second-hand car. And also, if you are buying a second-hand car, like say from Facebook Marketplace or even We Buy Cars itself, then please take a good, qualified, and registered mechanic, so that you can check out all the problems that you must fix on that car. He must be able to tell you what must be changed and so forth and so forth. You can't take an ordinary man from the street where he will assess your car, and he will try to scam you with thousands of rands for things that doesn't need even to be replaced in the first place. So yeah, so sit back, relax, get yourself some eateries or whatever, and enjoy the rest of the video on how to buy a second-hand car. Let's go. Right, we are back at our spot where I filmed my first video of this car, the Renault Kwid. And if you want to see that video of the Renault Kwid in detail, then I will put a link in the description box below. But now today it is not about the Renault Kwid, it is about how to buy a second-hand car in South Africa. So let's go. Alright, let's begin at the front end of a car that that you are going to buy. And I do apologize for the noise in the background. Once again, we are next to a highway where cars are speeding quite badly. Some of them are driving over 160 kilometers an hour, and trucks are passing by every 1 second. But let's go and start the front end of a car that you want to buy. As you can see, if you are buying a second-hand car, then your front end must look like this. It mustn't be damaged at all, and your grille must be in line with the headlights, as you can see here. And also, an important part is if you have some fog lights down there, then make sure they are not cracked at all. But this particular one, the Kwid Expression, doesn't have the fog lights. So as you can see here, it is blank off. But even if you have a car like this, make sure that part is intact. Some of the Kwid Expression which I have seen, or any other cars which doesn't have the fog lights, and they have that cover removed, then it looks so hideous, if you ask me. And while I am on the topic of lights, make sure your headlights are not cracked, whatever. Not cracked at all. And if you are buying a car, like say from Webuycars, then make sure you read that Deca report, which will say headlight is cracked. Alright, and I will show you some lights later on in the video. And the most important part is if a badge is missing from your car, then you must replace it with another badge. I don't know where you can replace your badge, but try to get a badge from your nearest scrapyard or something in that line. Alright, and as we walk to the side, straight away you must take note of the car's paint. Right, if you are buying a car which paint looks like that part is darker or that part is lighter, then you must know that car was in an accident, and that car has been resprayed over by, maybe say, putting a different color part of the car, and they sprayed it over, which, to be honest, it doesn't match with the exterior paint color when you are respraying a car over, let's say in the fender, in the bonnet, or even the bumper. Anyway, I was rudely interrupted by a car who was doing a U-turn behind me. But anyway, a lot of people, when they are fix up their accident damaged cars, then they would rather drive with their black bumper in front, or even at the we will come to the rear part in a later segment. Is a bike coming up. Anyway, a lot of people drive with those hideously black bumpers, which it looks quite hideous, if you ask me. And speaking of how not to be hideous, you must also check for its linings here. Check this lining. Check this lining here. If a lining is let's say, on point, then you must know that car was not in an accident. But if the gap is like this big, like this wide, where you can put in 14 fingers, then you must know again that car was in an accident. But if it like this, then the car was not in an accident. Right. Right, moving on to the windscreen, which as you can see on my car, it hasn't got any cracks whatsoever. And if you are buying a car with a cracked windscreen, which number one is very illegal to drive in South Africa, because it will it will have an effect on your visibility, then as a belief, please change the windscreen immediately when you are buying a car. But before you even do that, try to get some quotes for a car's windscreen that you are buying, so that you can expect on how much to pay for a windscreen. Remember, okay, windscreens are super expensive. It doesn't matter what car you are driving. I was the other day doing an inquiry for a Ford car for a windscreen, because one of my friends' Ford car windscreen was so smashed to bits. And do you want to know how much that windscreen cost? Over 2,200 rand for a windscreen. So please make sure you do inquiries on a windscreen on a car that you are potentially going to buy. And next part is your wipers. No, you must make sure all. In this case, this is a single wiper, but you must check whether the wiper is wiping the window. And if the wiper is not wiping the windscreen, then you must know that wiper must be changed. So take note of that. And also, if the wiper is not wiping the window, then something is wrong with the wiper motor inside the bonnet. I will show you later on where is the wiper motor. Anyway, now we come to the side profile of any car that you are going to buy. Alright, coming to the side profile, this is how your side profile is supposed to look. It must look like this. On some cars, or in this case of mine, it has some small dents on the body, but it is not a big thing to worry about. If that car that you are potentially buying has some bigger dents, like someone has smashed into your car, then please make sure when you are buying that car, please take it to a repair center where they can repair your body of the car. So yeah, this is how my Kwid looks with little to no dents on the car. And coming to the wheels, yeah, I see Suzuki is flying off the shelves, and that one is driving has got the black roof. So if you want to see that video, then link will be in the description box below to see that video. Anyway, let's come to the wheels of any car that you are buying. So if you are wondering why does these wheels look very funny compared to other Kwids, then this is an upgraded wheel, which in this case is a 175 65 14-inch tires, and they are the Lexus A-line wheels. But yeah, make sure that the car that you are buying doesn't have any scuff marks or pavement marks on the rim itself. And if you are buying a car which has some wheel caps attached to that, then make sure that wheel cap is secured in place. And also another thing to take note is make sure all the bolts on the wheel are intact. The other day I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw a Renault Kwid with a missing bolt right there. So please, when you're buying a car, make sure all the bolts are intact. Alright? And also make sure your tires are not that smooth. It must be like this. Alright? And if your tire is very smooth like Ikumazi, then you must make sure you replace that tire immediately. Alright, and tires can be very expensive in general. For 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 this set that are on the Kwid right now, I forgot to mention in that long video, I pay just under 10,000 rand for the A-line wheels with the Firestone FS100 tires. So that is how much you can expect to pay for a new tire. Say around 4.5 to 5.5 thousand rand. Alright. And while on the topic of tires, make sure that car's tire that you are buying hasn't got a flat tire. And if that car has a flat tire, then make sure to ask that person who is in charge, maybe say at Webuycars, to pump those tires up. Alright? And if that tire doesn't hold this air, then you must know there is a hole in the tire which anyway you will need to replace that tire. Alright? Right, now the wheels are done. Let us move a little bit closer on how the side profile must look. Again, I want to emphasize this. If you see a gap is like this all the way and it is very consistent, again you must know that car was not in an accident. But if the gap is so wide where you can put in 14 fingers, then you must know that car was in a big accident. And what some people do, they will take a very badly damaged accident car, and they try to fix it and put it on sale. That is where most people will get rubbed off just because of that. They take an accident car which is heavily damaged and try to fix it, but the car has already been written off. That is a major red flag if you ask me. But one can't predict whether that car was in an accident in the way that repair job was done. Like say they would take a, 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 a one off of that shell and take and bring another shell together, and they weld together and sand it down and paint it over. Then you wouldn't know that car was in an accident. That is what most people do these days, and that could be a huge risk when you are trying to make a claim on a part that your car needs. Alright, that is a huge risk if you ask me. But let's move on. Let's come to the side mirror, which you must have is mirror cap attached. And if that car that you are buying doesn't have this mirror cap attached, then make sure to get a mirror cap from your nearest scrap yard. And also, speaking of attachment, if that mirror is missing in action, again go to your nearest scrap yard to get that mirror. Because how would you be driving home if you can't see who is behind you? You don't want to look in the rearview mirror all the time in the cabin. You must look when you especially overtaking. You must look at that mirror to see who is coming to you. Alright? So this is how your side profile must look, and I will talk about those door handles when we get inside the car. And same like at the front and in the B pillar side, you must also check on the C pillar side. Like say so. Again, if you put in 14 fingers in there, then that car was in an accident. Alright? We will come to that later on. Alright? That petrol filler cap. Alright? And let's go to the back end. But before we even go to the back end, make sure the rear tires are not smooth at all. sometimes when people are changing tires, or like let's say do an wheel alignment, then they would put the back ones at the front and the front ones at the back, so that all tires can have even wear when they are doing the wheel alignment. All right, and coming to the back, this is how your rear end of the car should look like. Like all the parts are intact, like say your badging all over the place, and your bumper is intact, like so. And if that car has had a rear end collision, then you must know then you must take that car to your nearest repair center to fix that. Or alternatively, you can get some second-hand bumpers to put on your car, and maybe say on a later date display the whole rear end in general. But I have to say one the bad thing about any small car like the Renault Kwid, the Suzuki Special, or even the Kia Picanto is when they get rear-ended, then the rear end would be gone basically. Alright, so please take that in mind. Let's move on to the rear lights of any car that you are going to buy. And let's start on the left side. Like at the front end, you must make sure your rear tail lights are intact. They mustn't have some cracks in the tail light. And again, you need to take that Decker report seriously when you are buying a car. What they are saying about the rear tail light. Alright, and also your high level stop light must also be intact. Alright, that is how your rear end of a car must look like. Alright, and let's go to the side profile, which really is a mirror image on the other side. Alright, it must be the same. It must be the same like on that side. And again, in addition to the panel gaps, if your 14 fingers can fit in those gaps, then again you must know that car was in an accident. So yeah, and like on that side, you must make sure those wheels are not smooth at all. They must be like the one I showed you just now. All right, so that's it for the exterior walkout of a car that you are potentially going to buy. And before we end this segment, as you may have noticed, my car doesn't have a rear wipers, so in winter time that is quite tricky, especially when it is raining. So if your car has a rear wiper attached to that, make sure that rear wipers blades are in a good condition, and that the wiper motor does wipe the window perfectly for you. Alright, so yeah. So now it is the time to look inside of a car that you are potentially to buy. Say what is wrong with the inside of the car's interior. Let's go. Before we move inside in the interior, I want to give a special mention to the wheel arch cladding. Alright, if your car has got some wheel arch cladding, then make sure they are securely in place. Alright, and also the indicator side of the car that you are buying must be intact. Alright, and it mustn't have some small cracks like this one has. This one has some small cracks inside, so which means I need to replace that indicator cover. Alright, and again, if you are buying a car with a wheel arch cladding which are not present on the car, then you must look at your nearest scrapyard to find that wheel arch cladding. Alright, and before I end this little segment, if your headlights are faded like mine does, like so, this one hasn't hasn't been faded that badly, but if you can see here, which I last said in my update video, part 2 of the Renault Kwid, then you can see there are some small cracks in there. So I need to do the headlights pretty soon. But again, if your headlights are like this faded, then you must go to a nearest car wash to fix up those headlights. All right. Now it is time to jump inside of my car to show you how the interior must look like. Let's go.
A few moments later.
Right, it is the next day after that walk around on how to check for any damages on the outside of the vehicle that you are potentially going to buy. Now let us move to the inside of a car that you are going to buy, and starting with the key. You must have at least 2 keys to open the car. This is your main key, and the other one is your spare key, which, as you can see here, it has no buttons on it. So let's move on and unlocking the car. When unlocking the car, you must make sure your button is working, and also to lock it when you are done with the car. If your car doesn't have that feature of unlocking this and locking that, then you can use the key to open the lock, right? Like so. And when you unlock it, then that thing, you see that thing right here, must go up or down for locking the car. So let us unlock the car entirely. Right, let's go. When you are entering in the car that you are potentially going to buy, make sure these door handles are in working order, so that you can open the car like this, and make sure that all the handles are intact, right? Like on some models, like your City Golf Mark 1, they have those famous door handles which you have to open it in a certain way to get inside of that car. And also, I forgot to mention in my 2 Kwid videos which I have done over the past 4 months, is they do have the tendency to break off if you are opening it quite hard. So please take note of that. Anyway, let's go to the inside of a car that you are going to buy. And I do apologize for the wind noise in the background. I need to get myself a mic to eliminate that problem. But mics are so expensive these days. A good one will set you back around 5 to 10,000 rand. So as the channel goes on, I will be able to purchase a mic. Alright, don't stress about it. Right now I am going to climb inside in my own car, right? And when you are entering in the cabin, make sure the seats that you are sat on are comfortable for your rear passengers. If you are going to travel with your rear passengers, let's say from your house to your work, or even if you are doing a love club where you take your people from here in Paul to N1 City or even Cape Town. And also make sure that these seat belts are in a working order. You don't want them to snag when you are trying to buckle up. Alright, and speaking of buckle up, make sure that these buckle up things are in a working condition. I would suggest you put on the seatbelt. You put on your seatbelt and unlock the seatbelt button to see whether this this mechanism is in a good order. And let me close the door. Right, I'm inside my own car. And the first thing that you must take note is make sure that the rear passengers does get their own grab handles, just in case you want to be naughty on the road, and they would probably hate you for doing that on your morning commute to work. Make sure that there are door handles in each of the corners for your passengers to hold on. Right. Next important but is to wind down your windows, which in this case this particular car of mine doesn't have the electric windows. So if you are rolling down the window, make sure that part is in a good order. If that part is starting to wind down up or down, then there is something wrong with the mechanism of this window winder. And if you want to climb out of the vehicle, make sure the door handle that you are pulling out to climb out is in a good order, like so. And if your car has center locking, then make sure that all the center locking things are in a good order. Another thing that I noticed just now is that thing is broken to bits. I think it is part of that segment where they try to break in the Kwid. So luckily I just ordered that part right now, and it will be here on Monday. And when I will be doing a next video with this car, then this thing will be changed. So yeah, let us recap a bit. Make sure your rear passengers has enough comfort, especially leg room, if they have the same length in legs like a giraffe. Yeah, and that the under thigh support is comfortable enough. Right, let us move to the front of my car. Let's go. Before we even move to the front part of my car, I just want to give a special mention to the headlining. As you can see here, this headlining is still in place, but it's basically plastic or some kind of a cheap material that is in this particular car of mine. But if you buy a car with headliner which are saggy like a shopping bag, then you must change the headliner of your car by getting someone who is quite good in headlining of cars to readjust your headlining for you. You don't want your passengers to see your headliner hanging uh, to see your headlining hanging down while you're driving. You don't want to look all the time at the headlining of that car that person is going to buy. You want to look at the road ahead. As you can see, you want to look at the road. You don't want to look at the headlining all the time. So make sure to change your headlining or in the car that you are going to buy. Let's go. Let's go to the front part of a car that you are going to buy. Let's go. Alright, now let us get inside of my car by going to the driver's seat side. Let's go. And again, like I said, you must check whether the door handle is in a good order, like this. And that door handle mustn't be broken at all. But let me get my keys out and let us jump in. There's a And what you will do is take the car's key that is in your hand right now and put it in the ignition, which it is located right there. And you slot it in and you turn the ignition. And that will show you all the stress lights on the right side and your fuel gauge right here, and also your speedometer with your mileage right there. And this Kwid doesn't have a heat gauge to show where my engine temperature is. So as you can see here, there is no heat gauge in the instrument cluster. So make sure all those things that I've just mentioned are in a working order, and also check your ref counter to see whether it is in a good condition or working. Right now I will be closing the door of my own car, like so. And straight away, let's go to the center part of my car. But some of the controls will be here next to the driver's door, which this Kwid doesn't have any controls right here, because most of these controls are right here. And the first thing that you must take note is check whether the electric windows are working. Make sure that the windows does go all the way down and all the way up. You see, on both sides. You must make sure that the electric windows are in a working order. If there is something wrong with winding down your electric windows, then you must know there is something wrong with your electrical part of the electric window side. Like say a fuse has gone out, or what the wires are not connecting with each other, or the switch of the electric windows is faulty. So make sure you test the electric windows to see whether they are working. Alright? Anyway, I will keep the window down because it is very hot in Pau today, as usual. It is over 30 degrees today. But anyway, that is the electric windows sorted. The next thing that you must check is bloody fly. You must check whether a car has some central locking where. What is coming there? What is coming there? A bunch of Nissans. Anyway, you must check whether the locking mechanism of a car is locking or unlocking. If that thing doesn't work, then you must know there is something wrong with the locking mechanism of that particular car you are going to buy. Also, make sure this button is working perfectly, in case you will be having some breakdowns on the side of the road, so that the people can know you are having an issue with your car. It must go. You must press that button and it must show you like that to say you have a problem with your car. Alright, let me turn that off. And also, the next thing to note is check whether the aircon is working properly. Check whether the aircon blows hot, depending on the season, or in this case like now, check whether the aircon is blowing cold properly. If the aircon doesn't work at all and it blows hot air by the cold side, again you must know there is something wrong with your aircon pump. Like say it is broken or whatever, or maybe you don't have enough refrigerant in your aircon. And also, if you are smelling some bad stuff in the cabin, like say a plastic smell or an oil smell, then you must know there is some oil that is mixing with your air conditioning. all right? And you need to fix that ASAP, all right? And you must fix that problem, especially that burning smell, which is not very nice. And on the topic of air conditioning, check whether these vents are in a working order, where you can move them left or right to adjust the airflow of your car's aircon, so that you can get enough air without having to open the windows. Check whether the vents are in a good condition, like so, like you adjust it like this or that, or whatever you do. And also on the passenger side, just in case you are taking your girlfriend to wherever, and she asks you to put on the aircon, uh, because she is getting hot for no reason. But yeah, let's move on to another part of a car you are going to buy. Is check whether the radio is working. Check whether all the buttons are pressing nicely. Yeah, let me do that. Check whether the buttons are pressing very nicely, like so. You must press every single button in the cabin, in the car's radio, to see whether they are working properly. And check whether your car has a USB-A socket to charge your phone, or to play music from your phone, and your aux, and down below your 12-volt socket to charge your phone while you are driving. Make sure all of those things are in a working condition. Right. Yeah. The next part is the seats that I am sat on currently. Make sure the seats are in a good condition, where it doesn't stick any material out down below the seat. And also check whether the seat mechanism is in a good order, like say sliding your seat ahead or back for leg space, or to recline the seat, in order for you to be comfortable behind the wheel of a car you are going to buy. Right? And also check your passenger seat, whether it has the same treatment like your driver's seat as well. And another important bit to remember about these seats is some of the seats will be extremely dirty, like in full of oil or full of whatever. So you need to take to a car wash, where they can clean your car seats for you. And a Porsche just passed by the 992. But anyway, ask the people who is working at a car wash to wash these seats for you, not only at the front but at the back as well. Right? And they will have to remove those seats, all the seats out, to clean the seats for you. Right. Let us now check the other important controls of your car. And I will put the ignition on to show you now. In every car, it has two of these weird levers. In this case of mine, this is your window wiper to wipe your windows, and on the right side is your indicators, together with your headlights attached. And in some cars, that would be on the left side, and that would be on the right side. Your wiper control, say here, and your indicator is here somewhere. Right, let us test the wipers by pressing in that button, and it must do this. As you can see, it must clean the window for you. in order to see out of the road. If this thing doesn't work, let's say if there is no spray coming out of that nozzle in front, can you guys see that nozzle in front? Then that means you need to top up your washer fluid in order to clean your windows, and that is very easy to do. I will show you later on when we open the bonnet of my car. And and also check whether your indicators are working properly. If you press up, then it will go to the left side, and if you press down, then it will give you the right side of the car, so that the people can know behind you you are either turning to the left side or to the right side. Nice. And also check whether the steering wheel is also in a good condition. Like say the lever hasn't come off, and it will leave you with a bare steering wheel. And also make sure that the steering wheel hasn't been faded, like in this case of mine, which I showed you in my update video of the Renault Kwid. It is starting to fade a little bit. And also check whether the car's hooter is in a working condition, just in case you have some emergency that you want to attend quickly and you can hoot them out of the way. Don't use the hooter unnecessarily for saying goodbye to your chomie or to whoever. That is so unnecessary, if you ask me. And some people likes to hoot far too long, so that the whole world can hear that they are leaving from their friend's house, and that can attract some attention for all the wrong reasons. And the final three part of the interior of a car that you're going to buy is check whether your sun visor is in a working condition. Check whether the sun visor is in a working condition. Like say it must do this, right? It must do this. If you see a car's sun visor is missing in action, then again you must go to a scrap yard in order to get a sun visor for your car. You know, when people are selling their cars and they don't replace the sun visor which is broken or missing, then it looks so ugly without a sun visor. I used to own a 1985 Mitsubishi Tradia without a sun visor, but luckily you can get it aftermarket, and those ones that were on my Tradia were aftermarket sun visors. And the last two bits that I want to show you in the cabin is check whether the light in the cabin is working. It must go off like this, and it must stay on like this, and you can put it in the middle to say what door is open. And also the final part, check whether the manual dimming of the rear view mirror is in a good condition, so that you can dim it for those hideously cheap Chinatown bulbs which are coming to you in your rear view mirror and wants to blind you off the road. Right, I think I showed you everything. Before we end this segment, check whether the car that you are buying has some door pockets on both sides to put in a water bottle or your emergencies in there, like so. And also check whether the door handle that you are pulling out to get out is in a working condition, like this. It must pull like this, right? And let me close the door. As you can see, the Kwid doesn't have a any sort of adjustment to adjust your mirror. So you need to do it by hand. But on some cars, it will have a small lever somewhere here to adjust your outside rearview mirror in order to see who is coming at the back at the back. And it must be in a working condition on both sides of the car, as you can see there. It must be in a working condition. But unfortunately, my car doesn't have any form of adjustment to adjust your mirrors. And I don't know who the hell smoked something at Renault back then when they designed the Kwid, and not to put in any form adjustment in adjusting your outside rear view mirror. But luckily they fixed it with a facelifted model. Right. Before I show you how the boot works on any car, let me show you some service records of this particular car of mine, which is very important when you are buying a second-hand car, just so that you can know how that car was serviced and what repairs did that car needed at the time. Like say a big major repair in the engine bay, or even under the car, like say the exhaust has fallen off, or any suspension work that has been done on a car that you are going to buy. You must know all those records of that car's life. And if that car doesn't have its records in the glove box or wherever, then you mustn't buy that car at all, because you don't know how that car was serviced in the first place, and how that car was taken care of. You get some people who doesn't maintain their car at all, because they expected the car must be extremely reliable without having to spend any money on a car that they are going to buy. No, it doesn't work like that. Any car, whether it is a Renault Kwid or even a Toyota, like every car will need to have something replaced, like say boot shock, or even your shocks or your lower control arms, or whatever. So I will show you just now how my car was serviced in these 8 years I've owned so far. Let's go.